Rahul Jain, Executive Director at Pokarna, joins us to tell us about the business and how it is doing and why the stock should rise so much. Actually, in the past year, the rise of the stock has been 564%. Mr. Jain, thank you very much for joining us. Just what do you do? I mean, is it gold that it should be rising?
Good to be with you.
Rising 564% in the past year. What's going so good with your granite business? If you can detail how your exports are doing, how your domestic business is doing, as well a bit of business outlook.
See, honestly, I cannot comment on the share price movement, which is against our company policy. But overall, the business sentiment has been very strong in the export market, especially the American market and the European market, where majority of our business happens. And the customer confidence has become better, and the business overall looks stronger.
Okay.
This year compared to what it was last year.
Okay. How much do you export and how much is domestic?
Domestic for our granite business is close to about 70% is export and 30% is domestic. And for our quartz business, it is 90% is export and 10% is domestic. To give you a brief about our granite company, we are one of the largest granite exporters out of India, and we are a completely integrated company where we have 15 mines of our own. So most of the product that we sell today is coming from our own mines, which is close to 70%. So that is the reason why customers have more confidence in us, because we are able to deliver good quality product at the right price and at the right time. And since we are in this business for the past 20 years, more than 20 years, we have a strong business relationship with most of our customers, and it is the same customers today. Most of them are buying quartz from us, so the business has increased with each customer year on year. The quartz business has been growing significantly. For example, I have some data from Fredonia, where the market share of quartz in 1999 was 2%, and now in 2012 it has become 7% overall. And the quartz growth, CAGR growth, is about 16.5%, which is a huge growth which is happening right now.
Do you supply to the residential market mostly, or is it a demand for non-residential granite also that has gone up?
It's both, I would say. Okay. Both residential and commercial projects. We are doing quite a few projects, both domestic and internationally. For confidentiality clause, I will not be able to reveal the names with whom we are working with.
Fair enough. Can you just give us some numbers in terms of, can you give us numbers in terms of what your revenue growth could look like? In the first half of the year, you did about 93 crores of revenues, which was a growth of 14%. How much are we staring at in the second half of the year?
We again cannot give you any future projections.
So just an indication, will it continue to be a 15% growth, or do you think a 10 to 15% is a realistic level?
Honestly, I would like to talk about what has happened in the first half of this year. Consolidated, though our standalone revenue has grown by 14%, whereas our consolidated revenues have grown by 31.43%, because the quartz business is part of a subsidiary, and the business overall looks very strong.
Is it 100% subsidiary, the quartz business?
Yes, it is. Okay.
What is the share of revenue that comes from quartz? I assume it's what you use in watches, right?
Sorry?
Quartz is what goes into watches, right?
No. Okay. Quartz also goes in watches, but this quartz, we are making stone out of quartz. Okay. It's a technical know-how which we have taken from Breton, Italy, and we are the exclusive partners for them in India. And we are the only ones in India to make quartz with the Breton line. There are very few companies in the country, in the world market, who have this Breton technology tie-up. Some of them are LG, Compaq, Samsung, DuPont, and in India we have partnered with them. This is a specialized product where you make stone out of quartz, and it is 93% quartz and 7% is the resin. So
what is how much money comes from this? What share of your total revenue comes from quartz?
Our revenues from our engineered stone in the first half has grown by 82.47%. And
to how much?
It's looking stronger.
No, what's the aggregate number, revenue number?
Aggregate revenue number for the first 6 months would be close to, I would say, 50 crores.
From quartz?
Little more than 50 crores, yeah.
All right. What is the reason for which your margins have gone up so much? And do you expect the margins to continue to rise in the second half of the year?
I cannot say whether the margins will rise or not, as we are not allowed to make any future
projection. Sure, but what is the reason for which your margins have risen so much so far?
Our margins have risen also because customers have been buying more from us in the first half that you have seen, and also the dollar has helped us to a certain extent. Cost controls, tighter cost controls has also added to this. And because a lot of the material today is being consumed from our captive mines, so that makes a big difference.
Okay.
And to tell you something more about quartz, though I told you that 93% of the raw material is quartz, but the best quartz available in the world market is from Andhra and Telangana, and which we have huge reserves of. India, Telangana and Andhra has huge reserves of the good quality quartz.
Okay.
And this is the reason we set up this plant in this.
Okay. Your year-on-year profit growth has actually doubled, or actually trebled. You did less than 1 crore last year in the second quarter. This time you have done close to 3 crores. So would your earnings grow pro rata? Your earnings last year was, I think, earning per share about 8 rupees. Should we assume that you can, kind of double the earnings this year or even more?
Again,
give us a ballpark, because we don't know how to. This is not a stock. It's not like an IT stock or a cement stock where it is well known. So you have to give us an idea of what the growth trajectory is. Not exact numbers, but give a direction.
What I can tell you is the business overall looks very strong, and the business sentiment itself is very strong. All the customers that we work with are very optimistic.
Okay.
And today we have a global reach. We are working in 69 countries almost. So when you work with so many countries, growth will obviously come.
All right.
When you have expanded the distribution base to such a large extent.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much, Rahul, for joining us and giving us an idea of
so much
what you'll do at Pokarna.